Okay, so this is Wusik DRS1 version 1.0.8, and we got some new features in here. First, we have the random section here on the top, where you can have random steps. So if I press random step, it's going to populate with random steps. If mirror is selected, it's going to populate only the 16 steps, all equal. But if it's not selected, it's going to create 64 steps. For all the variations, it's going to be different. And the velocity is the same thing, but instead of just on and off, it's going to populate with velocities. So we got some more variation here. As I press again and again, it's going to create more, and you can use undo to undo anything that you created. The Euclidean is going to ask you the offset and number of bits. And if you don't know what Euclidean bits is, you can just Google for it and check some of the information on Wikipedia. There are some sites out there also that explains a bit about it. But basically, let's say I select 8 bits from the 16 steps that I have. It's going to create on and off pattern in here. If I select 4 steps, it's going to create a more spaced pattern. And if select 1 bit, it's going to just select 1 step. It's just that. And the offset is going to offset to the right any of the bits that you created. So if I select 4 and offset 2, I'm going to get a pattern like that. It's just something that you can quickly use to create steps. And you also have the random velocity. So let me see if I have something loaded in here. I have moved my sounds, but they are here. Drum collection, hi-hats. So real-time random velocity. And here I define the maximum and the minimum values. And if I set maximum to 0, it's going to turn off. So this is the random section. Another thing, you can also select the probability. I think that's correct. Probability of each step. By moving the mouse over here to the top, you can, you can see there's a red area. If you click it, it's going to show a dice. And now the velocity of the step is going to determine if it's going to hit more often or less. So if I set it off, the dice is still there. It's going to rarely going to hit. I can double click also on the top to set all the buttons to dice. So when off, it's rarely going to happen. You can see that no steps playing right now. You can see that one player now, so it's very rarely. As I move up, I'm adding the probability of the step being played. And full on is going to almost always play. So if I leave everything full on, it's going to always play, but sometimes, rarely, it's not going to play. Oh, I forgot to set the dice again. Just double click on the red area on the top. If you double click with the middle button, it's going to clear. I can see it missed a step already. So it's very rarely going to not play. And as I move it down, it's going to play less and less from the random number generator. So that's the dice option. Another option that I created is the ability to export and import tracks. Sorry, patterns. So just click on a pattern here on the top. You can select import, export. And when you export, you can select if you want all tracks or a particular track or just an accent track. So this is just something very easy to use. I also fixed the mirror mode for the steps on the accent. Now the accent steps are mirroring to the other variations correctly. Another thing that I changed is the position of the mutant solo and edged buttons so they reflect the position on the track more correctly. And also change the track name. If it's set to name, so track name set to name is going to show the track number, or if set something else, it's going to show whatever you put in there. In the edit sound, I added the buttons to select which track you're editing, because this is a new window and you can't select the track anymore unless you close it. And I also added the option to export and import a sound map. And this is great because you can also export all the tracks into a sound map. And it's going to save all the sound information for all the tracks in a single file and also include the sound information. So it's going to be a larger file that has everything for all the tracks regarding to sounds. So everything that you see on this page is going to be saved track by track, unless you select just one track. Of course, you select one track, it's going to save just that track. So it's going to save in two file formats. One file format for all the tracks and one file format for single tracks. And when you import, if it's a multi-sound map, so all the tracks, is going to replace all the tracks with that information. Or if it's just a single track, it's going to replace just the current track that you're importing to. So let me check on my table here. So this is my code page. So the new feature, the run-on step, the run-on panel, the pattern export, sound export, the improvements, the order that I changed. And I also improved the clock matrix editor. So I go to the settings, edit clock matrix. It opens as a new window with the information first, then you click and it shows the clock matrix. So this should work better with lower resolutions. And that's it. I hope you guys like it, and let me know what you think about it. If you find anything that could be improved or fixed, just let me know. Thanks for watching.